Hello my YouTube friends, this is the Daily Buzz and I'm going to do a short video about this creature that you're looking at right now. It's the scourge of a lot of us beekeepers. We lost a hive to the small hive beetle that you're looking at, to the infestation of these. And it's not very large, but the females can lay up to 2,000 eggs in short order, and these actually mature. The larva, I think the eggs hatch in maybe 48 hours or so, and in 7 days are a mature larva that crawls out of the hive into the ground, pupates, emerges from the ground as a mature beetle, and the cycle continues. So they can multiply rapidly. I'm just going to put my finger beside this to give you a perception of the size. They are really tiny little beetles, and they're of the scarab type beetle variety. Came from sub-Sahara Africa, I want to say in the early 90s, but they have spread tremendously. What we have used to help combat small hive beetle infestations, let me see if I can get you focused on our weapons. Okay, this is a hive beetle trap that you partly fill, maybe a third fill, with vegetable oil and stick in between the frames. These pieces hang over the adjoining frame, and the bees will actually chase the small hive beetles, and they'll go into these slots to escape the bees and get trapped in the oil and drown. And these were the first ones we used. Same idea. In fact, there's some dead small hive beetles in this one. I need to take it and clean it out. But just sits in between the frame, and they're effective. Those worked well. But they did not eradicate the small hive beetle. We actually saw that beekeepers were using unscented Swiffer sheets in the hives and just laying those out on the top bars, and the small hive beetles will be chased, same principle, into these, and they get entrapped in the fibers of the Swiffer sheet and cannot escape. That worked well too. But like I say, it did not eradicate the problem. And so then we discovered that this gentleman Haynes Hazelmeyer had come up with an invention, and he sells these. You can go on YouTube and find his company name, but it's Haynes Hazelmeyer. And it's called a beetle baffle. And the beetle baffle, this is a bottom board we're looking at now. We use screen bottom boards. So this is a bottom board, and along this bottom board we've attached aluminum strips, just cut out of aluminum flashing material, and stapled to the board with stainless steel staples so as not to corrode. And this one, it will flatten out when we place it under the hive body. But the theory is that the beetles actually need, they can't fly straight up. They need to take off at a low angle in order to fly. And I'm seeing them outside the hive doing that. They can't make a very acute take off, they have to have a distance like an airplane sort of. So when they crawl in the hive, they can't get up into the hive because they're trying to crawl up, and they are defeated by these baffles. And that seems almost too simplistic to actually be functional or effective. But, and with this one, you would have a baffle across the other end also. So all four sides are baffled. So we were at wit's end and wanting something that would solve our issue with the beetles. So we built these, and we coated them with Never Wet spray, which is not toxic to the bees. And Never Wet just makes them slippery, even though I've seen videos where people use these without the Never Wet, and they seem to be effective that way also. But we put these in our hive. Usually when we went into our hives, we would see several beetles every time on top of the frames, on the top, usually at the top of the top hive body, on top of the frames, or on the inner cover, or the bottom of the hive top. But always we would encounter numerous small hive beetles, and sometimes larvae. And like I say, we lost one hive to an infestation of small hive beetles, where the larvae just overran the comb and killed the brood, and slimed out the hive in a matter of a little over a week. I was astonished at how quickly that could happen. But we put these baffles in about 10 days ago, and we went into hives. We noticed that in the oil trays we saw an increased number of beetles dropping. And when we went into the hives, there were about 4 days ago, there were no beetles, 0 beetles. So it appears that these are very, very effective. Anyway, this is the Daily Buzz signing out.